Hello there.
General Kenobi.
Hello everyone, it is Briximus Prime, back for another Transformers Studio Series action figure review, and today we're going to be taking a look at the Studio Series Core Class Rise of the Beasts Terrorcon Freezer, also known as my sleep paralysis demon.
I'm Frankenstein's head on a spider's body!
And as there's that image right there, it says Transformers Generations, Takara, it says Rise of the Beasts, it says Terrorcon Freezer, Studio Series, Rise of the Beasts, Hasbro, Transformers. Here we got a nice image of him right there. Authentic Transformers! Here on the back of the packaging, we've got some stuff. And then here on the side, you got the Terrorcon logo, we got the face, his ugly mugshot right there. And then it says he's a core class, and that's basically it for the packaging on this guy.
お前はもう死んでいる。何?
Freezer here doesn't come with any accessories, but he himself is kind of an accessory on his own, but we'll get to that in a minute. Now first off, I've kind of been a little confused with this figure. Like, why is he called Freezer? Like, does he just transform into a big fridge that can hold your Mountain Dew or something?
Wait a second, that's already a thing.
Or is he called Freezer because he just absolutely freezes people in their tracks because of the just absolute sheer horror of looking at him? Just Freezer here just looks really awesome. I love the face sculpt. I like how he has like 4 eyes. Really adds to the very insectoid, unsettling look of him. And again, I do love the sculpting and paintwork here. It looks great. So yeah, love the head sculpt. I also love all this extra detail here on the torso. Again, paintwork looks really good. And I love how the arms here have some extra detail and paintwork as well. Like, even though this guy is a small core class figure, and like this guy still has a lot of love and work put into him, and he definitely looks good. Not really much to complain about in terms of detailing. I mean, the figure itself is really fun on his own. I like how detailed the back is here. And overall, there's not really much here for Freezer to say. It is cool, though, that he does have 4 arms. It's really something that's very uncommon to see in Transformers nowadays. I don't know what it is about action figures with multiple arms, but it just gets me every time. Every time I handle a figure that has more arms than they should, they're just some of the most fun figures I've ever handled. Going over Freezer's articulation, he does have a nice ball joint and hinge joint at the base of the neck. The ball joint allows for him to look up very far, look down a teeny bit, not much. Head can swivel from side to side, and all kinds of stuff can go on right here.
I'm your worst nightmare.
The arm can move out, it can rotate a full 360 on that ball joint. He does also have a ball joint at the elbow, which allows it to bend and allow it to swivel. Same thing on this arm, and this arm, and this arm. And also, if you rotate the arm upward, it does allow for the arm to move up a whole lot more. Nothing at the waist. Wasted opportunity. He has a ball joint at the hips, which allows for his leg to rotate, can rotate back, can move outward very far. Nothing much here for swivels. He does have a bit of a swivel here at the shin, which there is a bend at the leg right there, because he's got those backwards Decepticon chicken legs. And then he's got a ball joint at the ankle, which allows for an ankle swivel, allows it to hinge up and down, and not really much in terms of pivot. It's like barely there. And look at that, you can make him pose around like he's crawling like a spider. Oh, good. Here's Freezer compared next to the last 2 Studio Series 86 Core Class figures I took a look at, the 86 Core Class Rumble and the 86 Core Class Spike Witwicky. And then here he is compared next to my last Studio Series Rise of the Beasts figure I took a look at, the Leader Class Scourge. So anyway, that's it for comparisons. Okay, now let's get into Freezer's quick and easy transformation. And here's Freezer in his little cannon mode. Wait, what the? I was half expecting this guy to turn into a fridge. You know, considering his name is Freezer. Maybe this is supposed to be an ice cannon, I guess. Freezer! He turns into a little gun turret thing here. I think it's clever that the 4 arms basically turn into the little like tripod like legs that hold up the cannon. And I guess you could use his little feet here as like the handles for someone to operate the cannon, because these are 5mm pegs right here, so you can have someone holding it right there and actually using the gun turret. Now, this isn't the only feature to this cannon mode. I know we're kind of bringing him out a little early before comparisons, but here is Scourge in his little vehicle mode here. Now, this guy can actually attach to this rear end of Scourge right here. Basically, you put him on there, and the only tabs that are really holding Freezer on there is 2 little tabs here on his arms that go right into here. And yeah, it doesn't really do much other than just to be a gun on the back of the truck. I mean, if the back of the truck on Scourge really bugs you, this guy does definitely fill in the gaps, and also it gives this guy just an extra little bit of playability and cross-compatibility within the toy line itself. And it's a nice little feature. The only problem is it barely stays on at all. Now, there is technically one other transformation for this guy. Oh my gosh. And when the legs and everything is all folded up like this, along with this little peg right here, basically this guy now is a handheld gun. And of course, this guy can be wielded by some of his fellow Terrorcons. Would this make Freezer a target master, technically? Whatever, as long as it doesn't make him a breast former. And now, for comparisons. And for comparisons, here he is with Spike Witwicky and Rumble. And then here he is with my previous Studio Series Rise of the Beasts figure review, the Leader Class Scourge. So anyway, that's it for comparisons. And yeah, that is basically it for my review on the Studio Series Core Class Freezer from Rise of the Beasts. This guy is a really good figure. Again, he mostly is kind of like a companion piece to go with Scourge or Battle Trap, but even on his own, he's actually not a bad figure. The robot mode is tons of fun to mess around with. The ball joints are a little loose in his arms, but I think that just helps make them a lot easier to move, especially when both pairs of arms tend to run into each other sometimes. So he is a whole lot of fun, and I do like him a lot. His transformation is simplistic, but it still gets the job done. He still looks convincing enough like a gun, just doesn't look all that much like a Freezer. Still have no idea why this guy's named Freezer. I guess Hasbro is really running out of character names for characters nowadays. And of course, that gun mode of his is also really nice as well, like I mentioned, and I like how even though Battle Trap never came with a gun, you could always just give him Freezer as a gun, which I like how that works out. And that is basically it for my review on the Transformers Studio Series Core Class Freezer. If I had to give this figure a rating, I'd give him a very solid 7 out of 10. So anyway, that is it for this review. If you guys liked it, give me a like on the video, comment down below what you guys think. Subscribe to the channel for more Transformers and action figure videos, and I'll catch you guys next time.